More than bears and close. How about the players come on in and have a seat, and everybody else can sit down?
I keep watching, you know, because it's just so special.
We'd like to welcome you all here to Perry, and thank you for the support you've given us through the season and region and state games. You may not realize it, but when you're out there playing on the court, it makes a big difference when you know the fans are cheering you on. Our guys have played 2 great games Thursday and Friday. They've got a big one tonight, and we just want y'all to come out there and support them because we know they can do it. Cheerleaders have a presentation for their parents right now.
All of them just do it right up front. All come up front. All of them one at a time. Parents.
Smith didn't come up front.
Y'all get to come up front.
Come up front. My parents weren't able to be here today, but I'd just like to thank them for all the support they've given me this year. Thanks, Mr. Bradley. This is like our second set of parents here. They're always there for us when we need them. If we have a problem, we can always feel like we can go and talk to them anytime we want to.
Coach and Ms. Bradley, we'd like to thank you for all the support you've given us this year. You've always been there with us when we needed you, and we appreciate it. Thanks. You're pretty good that last today.
I just want to say that it's been a great year for you guys. We've enjoyed all the good games, especially the past 2. It's been really super. And tonight's the biggie. That's what it's all about. We're counting on you. We'll be there supporting.
I believe the boys have something to give the cheerleaders.
I think the bottom is the bottom. Cheerleaders. Wrong one, Jeff. Bottom.
Mary.
I think we're seeing this.
Clay, look at Clay.
He handed it over.
Come on, Clay. Come on, Eddie. You good, Eddie. We sure.
That's better be safe than sorry.
Boys must have a presentation made to their
Oh, he has.
That's pretty high up the board, driver.
Mom. And Dad. First kid. Dad. What?
Back to him.
My parents really been behind me this year, and it's one of the reasons, it's really helped me along. And I'd like to appreciate, everything they've done. I just hope they keep pushing me forward through the year.
Mother and father's been behind me a lot too. I couldn't have done anything without them. They've given me a lot of support for years. I appreciate it.
Just focus it on this. That's all you gotta do.
I'd like to thank my parents for being behind me all these years. Work, I guess.
Feel like a job.
I'd like to thank my parents. They helped me a lot more than you think they do.
Oh, that's, you have to get up there, Frank.
I'd like to thank my parents for all the support they've given me. Mom and Dad, ever have me out there? I'd like to thank my parents. They mean a lot to me. Sometimes I feel like as children we don't tell them what they mean to us all the time. But without them, they make us what we are. And I appreciate my parents for making me what I am.
Any of the parents want to say anything they can. Like to say.
very proud of these young people that we wouldn't be here. You know, it shows the effort that we put into it. We come down early or come down and stay because we enjoy it and we appreciate what they do. We've gotten real fine effort out of both of our teams this year. We're very, very proud of what they've been able to advance. They exemplify, I think, what a team sport is. And we've had the total commitment of all the teams, not only the boys who have been playing on the floor, but the others that are on the bench. We've had a total commitment out of it. I think that's especially been true the last 2 nights. They have just absolutely been a unit, and they've played extremely well. And they have just flat got after everybody the whole full court. And that's what it takes when you get to championship time. All the people come here with good talent and good teams. And it's that team that really wants to just flat get after somebody, and this team's had that capability. And we're very, very proud of everybody.
I believe that cheerleaders had substance for the guys.
Hooray! Balloon time.
Y'all gave us something. We wanted to give you something too. We just, we appreciate, we like to cheer for you. We're happy, to represent George Walton Academy, and we'd like to.
All right.
Yes, John.
Oh, she's trying to run to his bill. So he doesn't lose it.
Take one bigger than that, Bob.
Basketball coach would like to thank Coach George. He's worked hard with us through the whole season. Just show our appreciation.
Boys, we appreciate all Coach does for us. Sometimes we don't understand it. It always has its purpose, and everything he says always goes to effect. He really pushes us hard. We just appreciate all he does for us. We hope we can win a victory tonight. Thank you all. I'd like to, the boys basketball team would like to thank the cheerleaders' parents. They gave us a bouquet of balloons and clothes. I'd like to do Miss Jan Sauce. She does a lot for the team. She's responsible for all the statistics that we have. Sometimes we don't like them. We got to live with it. We appreciate all she does for us. What's in the box?
We didn't see it.
Lisa Steen.
Oh, you're special today.
And all the kids signed it on the desk.
I don't wear
Always when I've had a chance to say something, I always think of what I should have said after I get through. And I know it'll be the case today, too. But we had some special little gifts for a few special little people. Mark. Mark needs his Gatorade, he says. So we bought him some more. Now after the pre-game meal, he won't have to go to the store. Okay, Ed. When Ed guards the other team's stars, he puts them on the ropes. He's a leader on the floor, and on him we rest our hopes. Play. Clay loves to block those shots. Some thinks he has a hammer. He also really dunks that ball. The dog's own 5-slammer gun. Roy. And I don't want to see these old. We know Roy is a shooter, so we're giving him a gun. Because when Roy's on target, we really have some fun. Ken. Ken glides and soars through the air. He makes it look so easy. And when he shoots the ball to the basket, the net is always lit. Jeff. They call Jeff our little hatchet man. He's always on the ball. When we need that special effort, he always gives his all. We need someone to guide us and keep us on the beam. We have $1 million coach for our $1 million team.
If I had that, share it with y'all. Needless to say, these are the moments that keeps a coach interested in the coaching profession. It's hard to beat moments like this. Win, lose, or draw, when you can share it with people's lives and be a part of it, it just means a lot to you. If it were not for moments like this, I don't think people would want to be in the coaching profession, because it's not something you get rich in, but yet you get rich in ways other than with money, because you get a chance to share people's lives, and I think that's what life is all about, is being able to share and be part of another person's life. As I look around, I see a lot of people that years ago we had a chance to share with, and it's great now that we can share with other young people, some of them your sons and daughters, some of them just your friends. I look around, I see Ms. Murray and so many of you that work so hard to help George Walton have a good program, and I'd just like to say I'm thankful to be at a place like George Walton, where we go first class, where we have people that do care for their children. There are just so many things that I could talk about that are great about George Walton. You know, so often in the coaching profession, we do things that at times maybe are not rational and not very smart. And a lot of places, it's easy to say, well, you know, we're going to get rid of that guy. He's crazy, or what have you. And a lot of times, maybe that's the thing that needs to be done. But what I'm trying to get across the point is that I appreciate the fact that at times I can make stupid mistakes, and most of the time you'll bear with me in spite of it. we make mistakes at times. We do things that later on sometimes we know it wasn't right. A lot of times the things we're doing are to set our players up, or to motivate or encourage them to get to a point where they will do certain things. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't look like we're doing the right thing, and a lot of times we aren't doing the right thing. But we are trying, and most of the time what we're doing is coming from the heart. Now, we've had some trivets played here today, and certainly I have many. I've already said that without you people, none of this would be possible. Certainly without these other players who aren't getting much of the recognition now, they are an important part of our program. And you guys that haven't been out front today, how about standing up a second? Let us give you a hand. Come on, John. Yeah. Come on, guys. They are benefiting now from the experiences they're getting, but one day they'll be out front. You know, every time I think about the young guys, I think about years ago seeing a cartoon where the old star was cleaning out his locker and there was a young guy standing over there smiling. He knew that locker was fixed to be his and the opportunity was fixed to be his. Won't be many years, and the opportunity will be theirs, and these guys will be coming back hopefully to share with us because they'll know what it means to them. Thank you, men. You know, I can't get up in front and pay tributes, especially where my life is concerned, without mentioning one special person. And I don't guess anyone here knows what role she really plays. You see her and you think she's a valuable part of my career, but it goes a lot deeper than that. There are very few things that I do that she is not a factor in it. Most of you know she does the coaching because you see her sending the notes down all the time. At times I'm prone to do stupid things. She is quick to tell me when they're stupid and they shouldn't be done. But she's pretty smart sometimes, and when she doesn't say anything, when maybe she should say something, I can't even put a tie on without asking her if it's the right tie. I'm not very smart, but I've got a real smart wife behind me, and sometimes I look good as a result of what she does. I do love working with young kids, and thankfully she enjoys working with young kids too. And we've had a great time together. It's a tremendous thrill to me to get on a bus, to go to a ball game with a group of guys that want to compete and know that the one I love and the one that means so much to me is always next to me. And she's always willing to do whatever it takes to help us be successful. A lot of times I don't give her the recognition she deserves, but I try to let her know how valuable she is, and I think she knows how valuable she is, even more so than I do. Many times in my life, you know, we've had great moments, and she's been a big part of it. In fact, you know, most anything good that has happened in my life, the major part of it has been as a result of Jan's efforts. I have had some low points in my life where someday I'll have to share with you, and she's been the thing that's kept me going. And Jan, if you'll come out, I'd like to give you a big hug, tell you how much I love you. She's not very emotional like I am. In the middle of the night when I can't sleep, which I haven't done much of this week, she can't understand that. I get real high and she's still pretty steady, and I don't understand why she's not high like me. She's pretty stable. I don't know whether that comes from that Midwestern background or what, but I think we make a pretty good match because I get pretty enthusiastic and I have a lot of love. She has a lot of love, but she stays pretty stable. Jan, I love you and thank you. I'd like to take a second and talk about this group of guys. It's been a great season. It's been a lot of fun to work with them. They're a great group of competitors. When we start a season each year, the main thing we ask is let's compete. Hey, we're not going to quit. We're going to do our best. Win, lose, or draw, if we give it all we've got, that's all we can ask. And we've had a great group of competitors. I start looking at these guys, I could just tell you all sorts of things about each individual guy, what I see now, the potential I see, where I think they're going in life. And, you know, I could talk for hours about why I think the time that they spend at this game is important. And we've had to spend a lot of time rationalizing and studying and seeing, is it important to spend this kind of time, especially when you're disappointed with something. And yes, I think it is worthwhile. You know, I look around, I see old Ken over here. What a tremendous competitor he is. You know when the pressure's on, you can look to Ken. He's going to be in the middle of it. Sometimes Ken shows his enthusiasm or his competitiveness too much by hitting the wall or throwing the ball down or something, but he's a tremendous competitor. He comes from a family that loves athletics, that loves to compete, And, you know, I guess one of the real compliments that I've heard or I shared, whether it was part of what I was doing or not, came last year when Mr. Harrison, who has just had all sorts of thrills in athletics, said that he thought that last year the state tournament may have been the most exciting thing he had ever shared in his lifetime. And you know, when a guy can say that about 3 days in his life, and evidently what we're doing must be pretty important to somebody. And that's the type of background Ken comes from. I see Clay over here, and I see a young man that's so valuable to us. We told him early in the year that he was one of the keys to this team, whether or not we could be a good basketball team. He's been in and out. I've never had a player miss as many practices and still play as Clay has this year, but we need him. You know, he showed up last Saturday night with Clay in there. We were a great team, and when he wasn't, all of a sudden, we had some problems. Clay has the potential to be just as good as he wants to be. He's going to be exciting to watch as we go down the road. Roy is a guy that's worked for years, maybe never got quite where he was trying to go, but he's paid the price, and all of a sudden he's there. Roy is one of the greats. He believes in himself, and it's just a great thrill to watch a guy like Roy play basketball. You see Ed, here's a great competitor. You know, I've watched great competitors for years, but you watch your Ed, and he's just like a thoroughbred horse. He's going to get something done. Now, last night you saw him go against the best player from the other team, just like he usually does. And he battled. He ended up in foul trouble, and yet late in the game, when the pressure's on, if you watched him, he made a super play when he went up and blocked a shot. No way you can block that guy's shot as quick as he is, but Ed did it. It's been a great thrill to watch Ed play for years, and we're thankful he's going to be around another year. And certainly we appreciate the support of Ed and all these people's parents. Come to Mark. Here's a guy who has found his road. Mark is always ready. Mark does a lot of coaching too. He's right over there next to me, and he's always picking out things and asking why we don't do this. And then he said, I hear him mutter, "Is that dumb coach why we don't do this?" But Mark is real sharp. He does a good job for us. He's ready to do his role. It's not easy sometimes not to be the star. And I've had to rationalize on whether this is good for a guy, because I've had a lot of great players some years that were on great teams and didn't get to play because they were great players. If they'd been on some other teams, they'd have been super players, but they just happened to be on the wrong team with a lot of talent. Mark plays his role well. He's ready to go. He's ready to compete. And it's people like Mark that make this game a lot of fun. Of course, Jeff Capes, most of you know what I think of Jeff. If I had to say one word about Jeff that I think describes him, I would just use the word competitor. A lot of times, some things don't go right for Jeff, but if you'll wait, he'll make it right. Night before last, I think he made one of the fantastic plays. He went down the court. They took the ball away from him, made him look bad. They came right back down the floor with the ball, and Jeff took it right back. Now, this is what this game is all about. Hey, we're all going to make mistakes, not only in basketball, but we're going to make them in life. But what are you going to do about it when you make a mistake? Are you going to quit? You're going to crawl in a hole? Or are you going to get up and say, hey, I'm going to compete again. I'm going to get after you again. That's what Jeff Capes does. And I think Jeff is sort of the epitome of what we all stand for on this team, and that's that we're going to compete. We're going to get at you. Tonight, we're going to play a great basketball team. Westwood is an excellent basketball team. When the tournament started, there were two teams that were going to meet the state finals. Westwood was one of them. Everybody said Westwood will be in the finals. Everybody said Fullington will be in the finals. When we found out we were playing Fullington the first game, I felt like the Fullington coach said that he felt when he found out he was playing us. I really didn't want to play those people. When we get to the state tournament, we've had a good season. But I always want to win one when I get here, so it's good experience, so that the next year we know what's going on. We can win one. If we don't win another, we've had a good tournament. And when we found out we were playing Fullington, it did not look real good. They had 2 6'5" boys. They had a super guard. And, of course, you know it took a great effort the other night to beat those people. Maybe last night it would have been easy to have just really been flat after beating such a big team. Well, now we're down to the other team that everybody says is going to win. So we've gotten one of them, and we're going to have to earn our way there. It's going to take a great effort tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Some of these minutes are going to seem like hours tonight. And yet I know you, like I am, are real anxious to see this team. You know, every one of these teams is sort of like a chapter in a book. They're part of your life. And in this particular year, we're near the end of the chapter on this particular year. And tonight we're going to rewrite or put in writing the final game. Dr. Capes and I were talking earlier about whether or not young people really realize the importance of what they're doing. You know, most of us adults that have been through this, we know the meaning. I can go back to high school right now in a flash and tell you about the state finals my senior year. I can tell you what went on in the dressing room. I can tell you about shots. I can tell you what I should have done instead of what I did. I can tell you the whole bit. And I promise you, 50 years from now, these people are going to tell you about tonight's game. What they wish they had done, what they didn't do, and what they did. And that's the great thing about this stuff. It gives us memories. It gives us something happy to build on. And in life, we're going to get enough thorns. We need something that's good. We need something that'll help make us smile. We need something that'll help us smell those roses a little as we go down the path of life. These guys have given us something to smile about. They've given us something to smell that's mighty good and tastes very good. And I'd just like to say I appreciate you fellas. I appreciate all the effort this year. And tonight, we're going to get 100% effort. And we're going to let the scoreboard take care of itself. I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight. Thank you.
That concludes the presentation. But we'd really like all y'all to come out tonight and support the guys. We know they can do it. Just go get them.
Cheers.
We've got 3 cheers we want to do for you. 2 of them you know real well, and 1 of them you don't know at all, but we want to do it anyway. We want you to participate with us now, but it's real important that y'all help us tonight in the stands. We've got 6 of us out there, and you know we try our best, and we try and yell and do what the stands wants to do and try and get in the game, but we need your help, and we know we're going up against a good group of girls tonight too, cheerleaders. There's competition between cheerleaders, and we need your help when we get out there, cheer us on, and kind of go along with us, because I know it makes these guys feel good when they hear that their stands are behind them. So if you could help us tonight, we'll appreciate it.
Are you ready? Ready! Get up! 1, 2, 3! Go! Girls! Sing 'em! Hey! Hey! Those are taking it to the top, we're cut! Those are taking it to the top, we can't be stopped! Those are taking it to the top, we're moving, we're cut! Those are taking it to the top, we can't be stopped! Give me a B! B! Give me a U! U! Give me an L! L! Give me an L! L! Give me a D! D! Give me an O! O! Give me a G! G! Give me an S! S! What do you got? Bulldogs! Say it again! Bulldogs! Louder! Bulldogs! One more time! Bulldogs!
This concludes our part of the pep rally. We hope you'll come out.
No more, wait a minute.
One more. Any suggestions?
Listen, a while ago when I talked about the team, certainly the cheerleaders are part of the team, and they've meant a lot to us this year, and we try to tell them ever so often, but probably not near enough. And I would like you to give these cheerleaders a hand.
You can do this one along with us.
We are the mighty, mighty, we are the mighty, mighty, we are the mighty, mighty Bulldogs! We are the mighty, mighty, we are the mighty, mighty, we are the mighty, mighty Bulldogs! Get down!
Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it.
Here we go.